I have one of the best jobs in the world. I get to work with people who are insightful, driven, creative, and constantly growing and changing. They are anywhere from 18 to 60 years old. I believe people surprise you at every stage of life. So, engaging adult learners. What works? Two things really matter: research-based training strategies and relationship. Relationship is huge, but I'll talk about that later. Let's talk about the training strategies. Probably most of us remember the old school trainer-centered classroom. You remember the trainer was up front and center. The participants were in nice, neat rows. And the trainer, the source of authority, downloaded the content. Now, I must admit, I love lecturing. But my participants don't always love it. It does not always inspire. So I was thinking, what really inspires? Years ago, during a break in a session, I was standing near the cafeteria watching employees choose their meals. And I realized adults love having choices just as much as kids do. And so I said to myself, maybe that would work in a classroom. Let my participants have choices. And so that's what I did. I converted my classroom to a situation where participants' choice was a big part of the room, along with 4 other C's: collaboration, communication, critical thinking, and creativity. Actually, the World Economic Forum, in its Future of Jobs report, consistently emphasizes that problem solving and critical thinking are among the top skills needed for the workforce of the future. And I agree wholeheartedly. I have added choice to the top of the list, not as a skill for my participants to learn, but rather as a characteristic of the classroom. By choice, I mean a situation where many learning activities are available to participants, designed to meet the diverse learning styles that they have. And the participants love it as much as they love choices in the cafeteria. Now, I think we are made for learning this way. Imagine our early hominid ancestors out looking for food. Don't you think that finding and tracking that woolly mammoth required critical thinking and problem solving? It definitely required collaboration and teamwork. I mean, you wouldn't want to do it by yourself. No way. And then I imagine those people sitting around the campfire at night, reliving the adventures of the day's hunt. They must have had smiles on their faces when they were retelling the story of the hunt. And I know they smiled when they put those cave paintings up on the wall. Because creativity is a uniquely human, pleasurable, satisfying activity. So, I believe our brains are wired for the 5 C's. And since they're wired for the 5 C's, that authentic learning will happen when participants are allowed to engage in the 5 C's. And not just learning, but I think participants will enjoy a classroom setup like this and even be inspired this way. Now, a classroom setup based on the 5 C's required a shift from a trainer-centered classroom to a participant-centered classroom. And this required a trainer to remove him or herself from front and center, becoming more of a guide on the side rather than a sage on the stage. But this opens up opportunities to not merely train, but to coach, to mentor, to nurture and inspire. And that's why I love it so much. Now, time out. It's important for me to mention that these are not my original ideas. I stand on the shoulders of giants. Remember Tagore? He said, "The highest education is that which does not merely give us information, but makes our life in harmony with all existence." That means that education should nurture the whole being, intellect, emotion, spirit, and connect individuals meaningfully with the world around them. Albert Einstein said, "Education is not the learning of facts, but the training of the mind to think." So, collaboration, communication, critical thinking, creativity, and participant choice. What does it look like in practice? I divided a 3 full-day training into 2-week learning journey. At the beginning of each module, participants got a menu of activities to choose from, each one designed to meet the learning objectives, but with flexibility in how participants engage. Creating these menus has been challenging. I have to ensure that no matter which combination someone chooses, they'll still meet the outcomes. But the results? It's worth it. People love it. They are more engaged, and often they forget I'm even in the room. And that's okay. I have also created self-paced short learning videos like the one you're watching right now. They are designed to replace some of the stuff I used to lecture on. Many participants have told me that, "Amit, we find the short videos better than the presentations and lectures." And that's fine with me, because it's not about me, it's about them. And so, if you come to visit my class on a typical day, you would see some participants solving real-world challenges through thought-provoking activities, collaborative problem-solving, and puzzles designed to stretch their thinking. You would very likely see some participants taking some psychometric tests online. It's very possible you would see some participants in a corner of the room with headphones on watching a video related to the module. And there is one other activity on the menu that a lot of participants really enjoy. It's called Creative Spotlight. It's on the menu in every module. And this is where the participants take any concept that they have learned and develop a project presentation and then present it on the next day of the program. Creative Spotlight has to be non-traditional. It's only limited by their imagination. So they can come in and perform a skit, present a model that they have built, any non-traditional way of demonstrating their knowledge of something that they have learned in the module. This method of training for me, I have found, is not only effective, but it's fun. Effective use of technology is important. The process and policies are important, but please don't let them limit your creativity. All these things are important, but what the participants are going to remember most of all is you. Don't forget that 6th C, caring. This is about the relationship that I was talking about in the beginning. That's often the most powerful and lasting driver of adult learning. What truly inspires and engages participants is not just the content. It's how the trainer makes them feel seen, heard, and valued. They'll remember that you took a genuine interest in their challenges. They'll remember that you stayed back after the session to answer a question they were hesitant to ask in front of others. They'll remember that you created a safe space for vulnerability and real conversation. They'll remember that you encouraged laughter in the room and shared your own mistakes. They'll remember that you noticed when someone took a leave and you called them to check if they are okay. So, what truly drives learning? It's giving your participants space to engage through choice, collaboration, communication, critical thinking, creativity, and yes, that sixth C, caring. Because at any level, entry or executive, people don't just remember what you taught. They remember how you made them feel. Thank you.